You are looking live at the fairgrounds on the return of a tradition. The Jacksonville Agricultural Fair will open tomorrow night.
It was canceled last year because of COVID, and this year's theme is back to the fun. But that fun will also mean changes for additional safety.
News 4 Jax reporter Jim Pickett is joining us live outside the fairgrounds. Jim, tell us about these changes.
Well, one of the biggest ones is going to be space. You know, they got these rides set up, or they're testing them behind me here, but they're spaced a little further apart. And of course, as they're testing these right now, safety is a concern, and inspections are now underway. There's a lot of work going on around the fairgrounds as rides are being assembled, food booths are being set up, and the stages are set. And all of this concerns the return of the fair. There's a lot of attention being paid to COVID safety, but masks are not required. They're also paying close attention to ride safety.
We have the ride inspectors out here since Monday, so as the rides are finished setting up, they're inspecting them to make sure everything's good to go.
It was in 2018 when 7 people were injured at the fair when this ride, the Sky Flyer, malfunctioned, sending some riders, including kids, crashing into a fence. That Midway company is no longer being used by the fair. Today, we did see inspectors, but they weren't able to talk with us. The other thing that most people think of when going to the fair is the food. Vendors are setting up, like locally owned Bubba's Bacon. Yep, everything on the menu involves bacon. We also caught up with Andre Bullock setting up his barbecue stand. He says COVID had a big impact on his business.
God always make a way for you to go through, so he helped us get through that storm. And now that we've been back out, I've been to about 5 fairs this year, and they've been wonderful.
But there's something else that draws many people here besides the rides and food. How about plants?
I remember going to the fair when I was a kid, and of course the rides were really great, but it was always cool to see all the other things that were happening at the fair, like the animals and the plants. And some of these plants are gigantic. They're monsters, you know, maybe better than some of these rides out there.
In fact, we found some interesting displays going up, like these dresses made by students at Bartram Trail High School. Look closely. They're made of sticky notes. Plus, the animals will be back, and that's important to members of 4-H, which work year-long in order to show them at the fair.
Very excited to be back in the barn and to show off all the work that they've done throughout the year and their animals, so it's a big year for us.
You know, it is good seeing the livestock, but one thing that's not going to be here this year are the rabbits. Apparently, I learned today there's a rabbit virus going around, so they're not going to be here, but there's going to be plenty of other livestock. Also, we learned today, too, you know, I talked about the ride inspections that are going on. I made a public records request to find out what's happening with those. Hopefully, later on, we'll be learning, you know, if they found any problems. But so far, it appears everything is going good. The fair opens tomorrow at 5. JSO says they're not doing really the security inside, and they really couldn't talk about what's happening in the outer perimeter. So 5 o'clock tomorrow, the fair will be open. For now, we're live at the fairgrounds. Jim Pickett, Channel 4. The local station.